Welcome to Legends of the Flame, where guardian dragons watch over the night, and every story is told in calm and quiet light. Tonight's tale comes from an ancient woodland where every leaf held a memory and every breeze carried a song too quiet for most travelers to hear. Those who wandered beneath the branches thought the forest was simply beautiful and peaceful. But deep within the green silence, someone was listening. Not for footsteps, not for danger, but for the hidden songs of roots, rivers, and sleeping trees. Long before villages reached the forest edge, and before roads crossed quiet valleys, there stood a vast woodland known as the Whispering Canopy. Its trees were ancient and tall. Their roots stretched deep beneath the earth, touching stones, streams, and one another, in a secret pattern older than memory. Deep within the peaceful realm, beneath emerald light and golden leaves, there lived a guardian known as Leafwhisper Sentinel. His scales shimmered like moss after morning rain. His feathered wings glowed with soft green and gold. Living vines curled around his graceful antlers, and his long tail moved so gently across the forest floor that even the smallest flowers remained untouched. Leafwhisper did not rule the forest. He asked for no praise, he guarded no throne. Instead, he listened. Each morning before sunrise, he rested beneath the oldest tree in the Whispering Canopy, where he folded his wings, closed his golden eyes, and waited for the forest to wake. First came the robin's song, then the hush of leaves overhead, then the small stirring of foxes, deer, and rabbits beneath the ferns, and beneath it all, a gentle murmur of roots drinking from hidden springs. To most travelers, it was only sound of wind in the trees, but to Leafwhisper, it was music. Every stream gave rhythm, every branch carried harmony, every leaf added its own soft note. The forest was always singing, and Leafwhisper knew every song. Because he listened so carefully, he always knew when something was wrong. If a young sapling needed light, he moved fallen branches aside. If a stream became blocked by stone, he cleared the way with careful claws. If a frightened animal became lost in the rain, he guided it safely home. No creature feared him. Birds rested among the vines on his antlers. Butterflies gathered on his folded wings. Foxes curled beside his feathered tail, and shy deer stepped close to him, as though he were part of the forest itself. For many peaceful seasons, the songs of the Whispering Canopy remained bright and steady. Spring brought blossoms, summer brought warm green light, autumn covered the paths in gold, winter softened every branch with silver frost. Through it all, Leafwhisper listened. Then one evening, as the sun lowered behind the trees, the forest song changed. Only slightly. A pause between bird calls, a thinner sound in the stream, a stillness in the highest leaves. Leafwhisper lifted his head. He listened past the wind, past the water, past the quiet footsteps of woodland creatures, and down beneath the earth. There, below moss and root and stone, one ancient root had grown weary. It had supported the oldest tree for countless years. It was not broken, it was not dying, it was simply tired, and asking for help in the only way it could. The Leafwhisper rose slowly. He followed the fading song through the forest, to a mossy hill where heavy stones had settled deep into the ground. The stones pressed against the hidden root below, blocking the water that once flowed freely around it. So Leafwhisper began to work. He did not claw wildly at the earth. He did not rush. He moved each stone with patience, placing them gently aside where flowers could grow around them. All through the evening he worked. The sky turned gold, then rose, then deep blue. Still, Leafwhisper continued, quiet and steady beneath the stars. At last, cool underground water began to flow again. It slipped through the dark soil, curled around the weary root, and carried life back into the hidden places of the forest. High above, the oldest tree gave a long, peaceful sigh. The leaves shimmered softly, the stream brightened, and one by one the birds returned to their songs. No celebration followed. No traveler saw what he had done. No voice called his name. Leafwhisper simply folded his wings, looked up through the glowing leaves, and listened as the forest became whole again. Many years later, a young child wandered into the Whispering Canopy while gathering wildflowers near the forest edge. One blossom led to another, and another, until the path behind them disappeared. The forest grew darker, the trees seemed taller, every sound felt strange. The child called out, but only echoes answered. Then, from beyond the ferns came the soft rustle of wings. Leafwhisper Sentinel stepped into the fading light. He did not roar, he did not hurry. He only lowered his great head and looked at the child with calm, gentle eyes. Though a dragon stood before them, the child felt no fear, only peace. Leafwhisper turned slowly and began walking. The child followed. Together they crossed soft moss, passed beneath ancient oaks, and walked beside a stream that reflected the first evening stars. Whenever the path grew dark, Leafwhisper's wings gave off a gentle green glow. Soon, voices drifted through the trees. The child's family was calling. With a joyful cry, the child ran into waiting arms. But when they turned back to thank the guardian, Leafwhisper had already vanished. Only a single emerald feather rested on the moss, and the leaves above whispered softly in the night air. Years passed, but the child never forgot. Whenever life became too loud, or hurried, or heavy, they returned to the Whispering Canopy. They would sit beneath the ancient trees, close their eyes, and listen. At first, they heard only wind, then birds, then water, then leaves. And slowly, as the breathing became calm, they heard what Leafwhisper had always heard. The forest was singing. Not loudly, not with words, but in quiet melodies woven through every living thing. And then they understood. The forest had always been singing. They had simply never slowed down enough to hear it. Some say Leafwhisper Sentinel still walks beneath the ancient branches. Some find emerald feathers beside old roots. Some hear soft wing beats just before sunrise. And some say that when the night is still enough, the leaves begin to whisper, even when there is no wind. Deep within the Whispering Canopy, the gentle guardian still listens. To the roots beneath the earth, to the streams beneath the stars, to every sleeping creature hidden safely in the moss. And as long as the forest keeps singing, Leafwhisper Sentinel will keep watch. One leaf, one breeze, one quiet song at a time. And as the night grows still, the guardians continue their watch, and their light remains with you until morning. If you enjoy calm dragon legends and quiet guardian stories, subscribe to Legends of the Flame and return again for another tale from the realms where the dragons still watch.